Hey everyone, welcome back to part 24 of my Create Mod series. Now today I'm going to go over on how to make a netherite drill specifically for the nether. Now this one is going to be able to patch up lava and fire if it runs into it. It's going to be a very good drill and it doesn't cost too many materials. Now if you are looking for a drill that can be used in the overworld to get like diamonds and things like that, I have made a video already on that. You can go ahead and check that out. That just popped up on the screen right now, as well as I plan to make a much more improved version of that in the next couple of weeks. So definitely feel free to subscribe and definitely feel free to drop a like on the video. But anyways, let's jump into it. So everything inside of this chest is what you need for this video. Now, everything at the top, the mechanical plow, the drill, the deployers, the linear chassis, the super glue and card assembler. We've done this in many videos in the past, so I'm not going to go over the crafting recipes, but you can just use NEI or just Google the crafting recipes. And if you really can't find them, hop in my Discord and I can help you out. But those are things that we've crafted a ton of times before. Now, this next row right here, there's a couple things you don't necessarily need, or at least you don't need a lot of. The rails in the netherrack, you don't necessarily need a stack. The rails you could get away with just a couple, just because it's going to automatically pick up its rails and continue to move. I have a stack here just as to exaggerate having extra rails. It's always a good idea just in case you run into issues. The netherrack, you're going to need a couple blocks of netherrack, around 15 or a little bit more than 15 to at least get started, because it will start mining the netherrack and pick up its own netherrack at a certain point, but you need the machine to at least start placing blocks in the beginning. And then of course a minecart and a controller rail. Now this is a controller rail. This is part of the Create mod. Make sure you have this, not the other types of rails that you can get in regular Minecraft. Now, we also have a pickaxe with efficiency, and we have a wrench. The pickaxe and the wrench are just going to be easier to navigate around the blocks, and we have blocks of glass. That's just for me to build up to certain areas. But other than that, let's grab all of these blocks, and we will get to building. So to start out, we're going to go ahead and take a controller rail, and I'm just going to line it up with the other machine to make this a little easier on me. Place down our controller rail. Place down our card assembler. We're going to take our wrench and look at the side of this card assembler, and we want to set the movement mode to lock rotation by scrolling all the way down. This will make it so if our machine screws up at all, it's not going to spin around in a circle or kill us or anything like that, especially if we are in survival mode. Now that we've done that, we're going to take our linear chassis, we're going to take some super glue, and we're going to place a couple blocks out. So that's 3 blocks out, so 1 more. And then we're going to place the other one rotated backwards. Now this one does not need super glue on it. It's actually connected to this linear chassis, but this is allowing us to now place our plow. So if we super glue this, place down our plow. Now as the rails connect to the plow, it will break and go into the machine. So now let's start by building the front of this. Now the front of this is going to get a little tricky. Remember to super glue most of these blocks and just follow exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to place 1 linear chassis. Super glue again, place another one, and then these guys do not need super glue. We're going to do 9 blocks, just like so. Now we're going to super glue these 9 right here. We're going to grab our mechanical drills. We're going to place all of these guys down. So now we have a miner that will go forward and drill into the blocks, but we need a way to place rails. So we're going to take a piece of super glue, place it right here. We're going to take one of our deployers and place it so that the hand is facing downward. It's kind of a little tricky to see, but we want our hand to be facing towards the ground, and it can interact through the linear chassis and place rails onto the ground. So now that we've done that, we need to do one little trick by taking a rail and setting it to the filter. So you can see that now my filter now has a rail on it. Now that's not placing it inside of the hand, that's placing it inside of the filter. Make sure you do that, because if you don't set a filter, it'll start placing netherrack and stuff, and that will screw up your entire machine. Now that we've done that, take our super glue. We're going to place 3 on this side, grab our chests, place down 3 chests. This is just our storage area, so when it's mining stuff, it's going to start storing things in chests. Place down 3 here, and then we're going to go to the front. So now we have a way to drill, but we're not accounting for any type of lava that could fall down. So what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 linear chassis against these chassis that are behind the drills, a super glue, linear chassis, 1 more super glue, and we're going to take our deployers now, and we're going to place a deployer here, super glue, another deployer, super glue, and we're going to keep placing deployers and super glue. Now I will explain why these drills are not going to get it in 1 second, because we don't want the drills to mine the deployers, and we're actually going to make the drills mine the blocks through the deployers. It sounds a little weird, but just bear with me. We're going to dig into the ground just a tiny bit. Make sure you don't super glue this to the ground as well. But we're going to go ahead and place the 3 there. We might have to dig a little bit more into the ground. So there we go. I've placed down all of our hands. You're going to want to have it so that there's a hand in front of every one of our drills, and we're going to have 3 out on every single side. So what this is doing is going to place a netherrack down an entire wall and then break the netherrack and continue to move. It might sound kind of counterintuitive, but if there's already blocks in front of it, it's not going to fill those blocks. So this is accounting for even if it goes through a lava pool, it can go straight through it and you will be fine. Now that we've done this, we're going to take our netherrack, and this is another important step. We're going to set the filter to every one of these guys to be netherrack so that it's going to place down netherrack. You also want to make sure that for every one of these hands, they do not want to look like this. You don't want them to have a fist out. That means that they're breaking blocks instead of placing. You want to make sure that they have the finger pointing out. So we're going to set all of these guys to the filter of netherrack, and then we will be able to move on to the next step. All right, so now they're all set to the netherrack as a filter. So now we have to do a little bit of configuration with our chassis. So every one of these guys are going to be set to 8 blocks. So that means that every single block in front of it, it's going to go ahead and stick to it. And we don't want that. So we're going to look at this chassis at the top left. We're going to hold left control, and we're going to scroll this down to 3. This is going to connect all of our blocks that we need. And then this one, we are going to scroll down to 1 without holding control. So now all of these guys are already set to 3, so we're fine there. We'll go around the outside. This guy, or let's start back here. We can scroll this one to 1. Scroll this one to 1. This is making it so it's only connecting to the plow. This has nothing connecting on this side, but it'll connect to this. This we scroll down to 2. This to 3. This to 4. And then this we will make 5. So that will now make it so everything is connected. Now, just to be sure, we're going to do a little bit of a test. So if we go on this side, first off, again, another check, make sure that this is locked. So scroll all the way to the bottom. We're going to grab our minecart and we're going to place it right here. And we're going to take a lever. So I just realized that I actually never gave you guys a lever in the first chest. I would have put a notification up though to let you guys know you need it. So you guys should have it. Now, we've also forgot a crucial step, and that's that we have to open our chest, and we need to throw our rails and our netherrack in here. Now, I've taken a ton of netherrack and thrown it in here, way more than what I had in the chest. You definitely do not need this. I'm doing it because we are in a flat world, so we don't have netherrack, so this thing's never going to pick up netherrack, and this will at least show you on how the machine works. And then afterwards, I'll actually hop into the nether to show you guys it actually working in action. Now, that being said, the next thing we have to do is place a lever on the side of this cart assembler right here. And again, make sure that it's set to the farthest setting to the bottom, like we did right in the beginning with the wrench. And before you activate this, let me activate it on the video, just in case there's an issue, I can actually show you on how to solve it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate it, and our machine's going to begin to move, and then it's going to stop. And I know immediately a lot of you guys are going to run into this issue, and you're going to wonder what the heck just went wrong. So what we're going to do is place our blocks underneath, and we're going to pick up our cart assembler right here, and it's going to give us our controller rail. And what it's done is this is where our drills were right in the beginning. Now, an easy way to fix this is if we just built our machine up 1 block, it would have been totally fine, and we would have never run into any issues. But I've done this on purpose because I know someone is going to do this in the video. I've done it a million times during the live streams. So I want to show you on how to fix it. So you're going to place down a controller rail, place down a lever next to it, and just activate it. And it doesn't even matter that the machine's going to pick up that controller rail. This thing is just going to continue to go for a very long time. Now, this machine is going to keep moving, and you can see, since our machine is placing blocks before it breaks it, that there is no way for lava or anything to get into this, but it's also making a nice little tunnel that we can now run down and be able to pick out our netherite easily. Now, if you want to stop this machine, you're simply going to shift right-click on the minecart with a wrench, and you can pick up the entire minecart contraption and replace it wherever you need. So there you go. That's how you make this mining machine. So let's hop into the nether, and I can show you it in action. All right, so I've made it to the nether. You could have just built your machine in the nether, but in the off chance that you didn't, you have your minecart contraption. All you're going to do is place down your controller rail, your cart assembler, your lever, take your wrench and make sure you set it to lock rotation, and then you're going to place down your minecart contraption. Now, before you do this, I figured I'd share a little tip. If you press F3 and G, you can turn on your chunk borders. Now, this is actually not placed in a really good spot. You'd want to place this more into the center of a chunk, because you can see this is a chunk border. But I figured I'd share this little tip. If you place your machine more in the center, you have a higher chance of getting netherite. But I figured I'd go ahead and kind of let you guys know about that. So other than that, let's go ahead and press F3G, turn it off again, place down our minecart contraption, and we're going to turn on our lever. Now, we are going to run into the issue once again, where it's already has a couple holes right there. But we're going to grab our netherite pickaxe, our nether rack. We'll just go ahead and place that. Place our controller rail with a lever, just like so, and activate it. And we'll let this guy start going. So let's go ahead and follow this thing, and I'll show you guys if it runs into anything. This also accounts for if it runs into gravel, it'll keep mining gravel until there's no more blocks. So we have that nice little benefit of this. Now, other than that, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward until we find netherite to prove that this actually works. All right, so we are literally not even far from the entrance, and we already found ancient debris. So we'll go ahead and pick this up, and looks like it was just one, but still, we got some ancient debris. We're already finding tons of gold and everything, and this is taking absolutely no work from us. We can just hang out here. A nice little addition to this is technically if you make a seat, you can super glue a seat to the back of this machine and then just hang out with the machine as it's moving. But other than that, that's the machine. It's up and running. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to subscribe. Definitely feel free to like. I have to shout out everyone in my live stream. We built this machine on my live stream, the last one I did on the Canacrafter server, because I died getting netherite and I lost some pretty good stuff. So I ended up building a machine and it works really well. So I figured I'd go ahead and share this design with everyone. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to drop a like. Definitely feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next one.